Hi, my name is Marisa, and in this video I'm going to talk with you about the palette that I have in my collection, but I didn't have the opportunity to share with you until now. I'm talking about the Biba All Neutral palette from Natasha Denona. I thought that since we are still in lockdown here in the UK, this is the perfect opportunity to share it with you. So in this video I'm going to swatch it, compare it with other palettes from Natasha that I have in my collection, and I'm going to do 3.5 different looks. So if you are interested in this content, just keep on watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you already saw one or more of my videos, thank you for returning. To all of you, thank you for stopping by and taking a look into this one. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel. You just need to click on the red subscribe button below, as well as on the notification bell, in order to be notified whenever I publish a new video. Like this, you will not miss any of them. Let's talk a little bit about this palette. So it comes in the typical Natasha Denona cardboard packaging with the indication of the shadows on the back, names and formulas. It's produced in Italy. It has a suggested shelf life of 2 years after open. It's cruelty-free and paraben-free, and the palette in itself is in plastic and has the little holes on the back in order to pop out the eyeshadows. This is definitely my favorite Natasha Denona packaging, especially because it has the name of the eyeshadows on the palette. This palette has what I think it's called the medium-sized one, and by that I mean that it has 15 eyeshadows, also in the normal weight for Natasha Denona, which is 0.08 ounces or 2.5 grams for each eyeshadow. So as you can see, this is a very monochromatic kind of color story, and although Natasha calls this an all-neutral palette, to me neutral means a color that is not cool nor warm, and I don't think Natasha meant that when she named this palette as neutral. What she meant was, I think, that these are eyeshadows that are extremely wearable, the kind of eyeshadows that you will be reaching out every day to go to work and even to go out at night, on account of the 3 metallic ones. There are 3 sub-color stories in this palette, if you don't mind me name it like this. There's a more warm yellow orangey based on the top row, a more pink reddish undertone one in the middle, and then we have the grays on the bottom. So the looks that I've done will be for each one of these rows. So a warm one, a pink reddish one, and then I have one divided in 2 with the gray eyeshadows. I'm going to swatch them now for you to take a look. First row, Rustic is a metallic eyeshadow. Prairie is a creamy matte. Cocoa is a creamy matte. Freckle is a creamy matte. And Shine is a metallic. Second row, Pasha is a creamy matte. Monroe is a metallic. Rayon is a cream to powder. And Buff is a creamy matte. And finally, Tone is a cream to powder. Third row, Seed is a cream to powder. Tor is a creamy matte. Sculpture is a creamy matte. Spot is a cream to powder. And finally, Tusk is a creamy matte. If you already have the Mini Nude and the Mini Glam palettes from Natasha, you may be thinking, how do they compare with this Biba one? And the undertones are different. So for instance, the only one that has some similarities or may have some similarities is the top row with the Mini Nude. And I'm going to swatch both of them side by side, and you will see why I say that the undertones are different. If you already saw some of my videos, you are probably aware that I'm a very big fan of Natasha Denona's eyeshadows. I think they are extremely pigmented. I can apply them very easily, and I think they are very flattering on more mature lids, which are wrinkly and folded, unfortunately, due to the more creamy nature of the formulas. And this Biba palette does not disappoint on that regard. All the eyeshadows have the quality that we expect from Natasha Denona palettes, and they are all consistent. There is no eyeshadow that underperforms in this palette. It's very funny. I have two different types of Natasha Denona palettes. I have this one, which with the Mini Glam and the Mini Nude I always have by my side, because when I need a neutral eyeshadow, it's to these palettes that I reach out. But the color story is not one that particularly dazzles me, although obviously the monochromatic shades are extremely pleasing to the eye. This is probably the ones that I use the most. On the other hand, we have the Gold palette, and this one, it makes me happy just by looking at it. I think it's so gorgeous. But gold eyeshadows are not something that I reach out very often because of the pinks that I have in my skin. But what can I do? Just makes me happy. All of this to say that if you want a workhorse, these are it. Small ones, medium one. That is what I use, and I totally recommend them to you. Okay, let's go into the looks now. To start, I'm going to apply a little bit of eye primer on the eyelids. I don't use it because of the lasting power of the eyeshadows. I use it to block the redness on my eyelids and to diminish the transfer between the eyelids and the brow bone, because with age my eyelids became folded and hooded, and I like Natasha Denona's primer. I find it more liquidy than the NARS one, for instance, which I like because my skin just sucks up the moisture in everything. It's wonderful. Now I'm going to use the Blender Pro from Sonia G, and I'm going to apply this eyeshadow on my brow bone. Going to place a little bit on the bottom water lash as well. Now I'm going to use the Crease Pro, and I'm going to I'm going to apply the deep brown cocoa on the outside V, like this, and a little bit on the bottom as well. I'm going to connect the bottom with the top, just pushing the shadow upwards, not pushing, stretching. And now I'm going to use the Builder Pro, and I'm going to apply this metallic bronze called Rustic all over my eyelid. This is a really pretty eyeshadow. It has a golden sparkle, shimmer, glitter, but it's not too strong, which makes it pretty wearable. And I'm not going to pull it in the inside corner because my eyes are just on the limit not to be too close to each other. So I always like to place a little bit of lighter eyeshadow in the inside corner to give them the appearance of being more separated. Now I'm going to use a pencil brush. This is Pencil Pro from Sonia G, and I'm going to place the champagne metallic eyeshadow called Shine in the inside corners. I'm going to line my eyes with the bronze satin Kajal liner from Victoria Beckham. I'm going to use it on the bottom eyelash like this, and on the top I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs fine liner in Truffled. And I'm going to use another small pencil brush, and I'm going to I'm going to use the Cocoa eyeshadow from the palette, and I'm going to buff the brown eyeliner to make it softer. And I'm pulling it ever so slightly to the outside corner, like this. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. This is the final look. On my lips I have the iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury, and I need a nude lipstick from Natasha Denona, and this is the shade 34 Neutral Pink Iena. And on my cheeks I have the bronzer from the Tan palette. That's it. Let's go to look number 2 then. So I'm going to place this shade tone on my crease, and this is a cream to powder formula, which means that it's actually lighter than what appears in the palette. As you can see, I just want to give very light wash of color. And now I'm going to use the Crease Pro, and I'm going to place this on the outside corner. In a triangle shape. I'm going to use the other one to buff it and smooth it. I will come back later to apply a little bit more, but for now I'm going to the other eye. I'm going to place a little bit on the bottom eyelash, this side as well, and connect it upwards. Now I'm going to use my small finger, and I'm going to apply this metallic eyeshadow called Monroe all over my lid. The other side. I really like this metallic eyeshadow. It's a champagne and it's not goldeny. If anything, it has more of a pink undertone. It meshes well with the red undertone eyeshadows in this row. I'm going to use a small Pencil Pro, and I'm going to apply it on the inside corner. And now with the Crease Pro, I'm going back to Pasha and place a little bit more on the outside corner and next to my eyelashes here. And that's it. I'm going to curve my eyelashes, apply mascara, and I'll be back to show you. So this is the final look. I hope you are able to see that the eyeshadows have a more reddish undertone, more than the first look I did with the first row of the palette. On my cheeks I have this blush from Chantecaille, which is a reddish pink. It's the coral one. And I have the bronzer from the Tan palette from Natasha Denona. And on my lips I have the Honey Pot Pink Nude from Chantecaille. Okay, to start the third look, I'm going to place the light gray shade called Sculpture all over my mobile lid and on my crease. Forgot to place my eye primer. And to blend the edges of the gray, I'm going to use the light shade Tusk. Just buff it here. Now I'm going to use an angle brush and I'm going to touch on the black eyeshadow and I'm going to use it as a liner. Next to the eyelashes. Like this, with the same brush. Now I'm going to, this is going to be dangerous. Using a pencil brush, I'm going to the darkest gray, this one called Tor, and I'm going to smudge the border of the black. I'm going to buff with the light beige color. If you guys forgive me, I'm not going to do the complete both eyes, just going to do this one to show you how it would look. So this is kind of graphic 60s eyeliner look. If my eyes had a different position in my face, I would extend the black line to the inside corner, both up and lower line, and it would make it even more graphic. I could also try, but I'm not sure I would make it. If my eyelids were not so wrinkly, I would also place a black line here. Like this. But as you can see, my lids close, so we are not able to see it very perfectly. And then I would buff it again with the dark gray. And I'm just going to correct the gray here. And this would make it even more graphic. My eyelids, unfortunately, are not the best for this kind of work, but it's definitely fun to play with this. On this side, just going to try. I'm going to apply gray all over my lids. Going to buff it with the lightest color. And now I'm going to use crease brush and I'm going into the darkest gray and just place it here on the outside corner. And now I'm going into the black and intensify even a little bit more. And with the black next to the eyelashes and a little bit on the bottom, mascara, and there you have it. Two different ways of using the gray eyeshadows on the third row of the palette. The lipstick I'm wearing is the shade 15 Neutral Beige Claudia from the I Need a Nude lipstick range from Natasha Denona. And I have a little bit of this lip gloss from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is called Butterscotch and I have it just on the center. And this is a very different look for me. I normally never wear such light colors on my lips, but I was feeling like playing a little bit with makeup. So which one of the eyes do you like the best? The more smoky or the graphic 60s eyeliner? Not graphic, it's more a soft eyeliner. Soft version of a 60s eyeliner. Leave it in the comments below. Which one do you like the best? And this is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's extremely motivating for me and every creator on YouTube, especially the small ones. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Bye! In order to be as well as on the on the ring bell. Also consider but it's definitely fun to pay. But it's definitely fun. If I can find it. Oh well, I don't have. O que é que será? Quando a gente precisa das coisas, não as tem. Here it is.